This is Whiskey Happens, and we're back. For those 30 of you that have been wondering where the hell we've been.
Oh, oh, Mr. Johnson, you crack me up, sir.
Travis, what are you sipping on tonight?
I actually just got, which you informed me on. I thought I got something special. I hadn't even paid attention to Penelope and what they'd been doing, but I bought the Toasted Barrel series. So, but they changed the labeling on me. And this one is, I got in Ohio, 114 proof. So char number 3, but 4 years aged. That's what I'm sipping on tonight. I wanted to open it up, try something a little different. How about you?
I am drinking, I guess, my new favorite liquor store, right? Goody Goody.
Mm-hmm.
I got a store pick from them via Phil. Yeah, but Phil hooked me up and got this along with another bottle we've already talked about. And I hadn't found a good moment to open it until right now. It's like talking
There you
about
go.
bourbon. Let's open something new.
Yeah,
And so far, so good. I'm not. It's a high rye mash bill,
it is.
but I'm not. It's like Blanton's. I don't go on my way to find a Blanton's, but I don't mind drinking Blanton's. Just because it's high rye doesn't mean I'm not going to enjoy it. Now, straight rye, 99% rye, those I do find challenging. I think everyone that's been watching us for a while now knows that about me.
That's
but
very
I don't
true.
mind experimenting.
Awesome. Well, I like Old Soul. I mean, it's from Mississippi, so I have a bottle of it as well. So it's good bourbon. I drank it. There was an 8-year that I know John, when I was with John, he picked up that I've seen as well, that everyone says is pretty good. I didn't pick it up, but you got to try the little local guys. Sometimes they will knock you out the socks. You sent me a tasting of one of a local guy that you actually like. So that's good. I can't wait to try that once I get it.
Oh, now that you mention that, if anyone in the New Jersey Mid-Atlantic region has ever had Wellwood Gardens, I know it's MGP. I know that it is wheated mash bill. And that is all I know because it seems like something happened. Maybe they bought all this stuff and the money fell through. And there's no website that I can find, even though there's one listed on the back of the bottle, as well as there's no reviews being done. Granted, it's sourced, but it's not that bad.
That's awesome.
So I'm just curious to find out more information about it, or whether I should bother scooping up another bottle next time I go to New Jersey. I also realize I do more shopping in other states than I do in Virginia.
I haven't gone bourbon hunting well, that's not true. I haven't gone bourbon hunting locally in a while. I have been traveling as well and been doing bourbon hunting in other places, as well as ordering online actually and getting some actually really good bourbon. And I'll kick us off with that in a minute. But I think before we get there, if you guys like our content, I know we've been gone for a long time. We're coming up on almost next year. We're 2 years doing this. So subscribe, hit that like button, do all the things, and help us keep doing this longer and longer. And hopefully soon, very soon, Garrett will be moving to Texas and we will be in person for all of our stuff moving forward. So in today's episode, we haven't talked about this in a little bit, but what's coming out? It's allocation season for all you bourbon lovers out there, and there's a lot getting out there. And we're going to talk about just a few bottles that we're excited about, or bottles that potentially I've got one of the ones I was excited about. So that's why I say that. And that's why I was going to kick us off. But that's what we're talking about. Like, it's allocation season. It's wintertime. It's perfect time to start drinking bourbon. Weather's getting colder. Do the damn thing. So
it's interesting that you call it allocation season, because I would just call it bourbon season. But seems like you're looking for very specific things when you say allocation.
It's allocation because in Texas, we get a lot of stuff, but we don't get a lot of it. And so it's still very allocated. You know, I mean, we still haven't gotten some of the ones that I know you're going to talk about, so I'm not going to say it. But the first one, like, we haven't gotten this in store yet, but I got to order it online. That's Smoke Wagon. This is the malted straight rye. So this one is amazing. It dropped in it was bottled in September. It just dropped recently online. It's coming in at almost 120 proof.
That shipped pretty quick, right?
Yeah, like 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
So it's the second one I bought. I bought the other rye, the straight rye, as well on their website, and got lucky enough to get a couple of bottles of that. But I'm super stoked about trying that. The straight rye, I can't grab it. It's amazing. Like, for a rye, it's not a spicy rye. It's like a flavor bomb. So I'm really excited to try this malted rye, because you and I actually both love the malted New Riff rye. And so if it's anything close to that, I know it's not the same at all, but malted, ryes tend to be really flavorful. So I'm really stoked about getting into that one.
Interesting. I can't say I have the same sentiment at all. However, I do wonder, once you get a chance, comparison of malted versus malted,
Yeah.
just to see shits and gigs.
Great.
For me, I guess I'll just get this one out of the way since Travis said it's allocation season.
Yes.
I'm looking for Van Winkle. Let's get a Pappy on the list.
Let's get it.
For those of you who didn't read, and it could just be marketing, or it could be true, this will be the largest allotment distributed in the history of the Van Winkle line since its start. Does that mean secondary prices are going to drop? Probably not. However, maybe if Buffalo Trace can keep up, because now we're coming up to where they bottled it and there was a burn move. So it makes sense that there's more, because they knew to anticipate more. They know exactly how much to anticipate. Who knows? Will they pace it out just to make sure the demand stays up? Who knows? Either way, I think this increases my chances of someone or me finding in a Walmart at a retail price, like I see on all these Reddit communities, where people are just like, oh, walked in the store and there it was. I'm not picky. 15, 20, not B, whatever. One on the shelf.
Yeah. Well, it begs a good question, and something I think we should get into eventually, but maybe not on this episode, is should the Van Winkle lineup produce more and charge more? Because if you think about it, if you look at the MSRP for most Buffalo Trace products, and I'm not saying that most people get it at this, but if you look at some of the Buffalo Trace products, the majority of them are not super expensive. So would it behoove them to make more Van Winkle starting as of the last couple of years? So maybe in the next 10 or 15 years, we'll see this, but maybe they will start making more, but just charging, like my next one that I'm going to talk about, Russell's Reserve Single Rickhouse, coming in at $250 and 112 proof. I want it. Like, I love all the stuff that comes out of that, out of Wild Turkey. I love it. And I would pay $250 for it.
I would not. It's interesting that you said that, because when I first read about this, I was like, this is crazy. This is too much. Not to say it won't be tasty. Like you said, most of the Russell brand things are good. Yeah. However, in my experience going from the 10-year to the 13-year, it's not that much of a difference. I still haven't done the blind yet. No. And not to say, hey, don't spend money on it. Do whatever you want. It's just, I would definitely have to pay $80 for a 1 ounce pour first before I invested $250 in it at this point for me. Or if someone out there got one, I'd love a handshake.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got to look at it. I look at it this way. So Wild Turkey releases some limited stuff. 13-year they did this past year as well. And they do a few other ones that are limited releases, and they're, 150 to 175. So it's not astronomically different. I mean, it's maybe $100 more or less to get something that, for the most part, a lot of the Russell's Reserve stuff is phenomenal juice, as we talked about. But I think for me, it'd be more of a collector's thing. Like I'd get it. Of course, I'd still open it, but just to have the bottle. And I paid $250 for a 14-year blue run. So it's not too off-putting to do that. And that 14-year-old blue run is friggin' amazing. So what's next on your
Tennessee juice?
Yeah. What's next on your list, though?
Maker's Mark PRT. It still hasn't dropped here in Virginia. Overall, it's late. I'm not sure if it was just a bottling issue with glass or if there was a specific reason why it didn't happen yet. I've seen it pop up on people's socials, and I don't think I'm going to go out of my way to get it because it hasn't dropped here yet. I feel the odds are pretty good. You can still find the FAE around here. So
well, that would be my question. Is it going to be like FAEO, or is it going to be like that? Do you think it's going to be like that lineup to where it's still going to be somewhat readily available? Like, because that was the one I was alluding to earlier, is it's been out for a little bit and Texas has not, no one's even spoken about it being in any of our stores. So like you, where are they?
Kentucky for sure.
Well, I'm just saying, like, and I haven't seen many people do any reviews on them. So are people not going out and getting them? Are they not that allocated in the areas that they're in? I mean, I know for me, it's going to probably be super allocated at first. But I don't know. It'll be interesting to see because I'm interested to try that one as well.
Well, I hope places aren't hoarding this like it's a allocated bottle. It's just a finished thing, no different than any of their private selections. So now, that being said, if I go to DC to get it, it's like between $89 and $99, which is a bit above MSRP. However, that's just shops here. If I wait for it to drop at a VABC store, I might be waiting till next March for it to happen to get it at retail. So it's about how bad do I really want it? If I'm going to pay the 10 to 20 extra dollars, or if I'm just going to sit and wait until it actually falls into a VABC store. But I hope stores aren't allocating this. Like, it's not Basil Hayden toast. I don't know why that's allocated either. Anyway, what's your next one?
You know what else is allocated, which I find hilarious? Before I go on my next one, is Basil Hayden, not rosé, Cabernet cask.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. Last but not least for me, probably the one that I'm searching for more than any, that I really do want, and anybody out there that can get their hands on it, please let me know, is Midwinter's Night Dram. There are two that dropped. One is more allocated than the other, but we've got the Encore, and then we've got the more limited release as well that's coming from them. I'm super excited to try those. Either one, to be honest with you. Love to get both, but that's probably not going to happen. But I will say this. If it hadn't been for traveling this year, I would have gone there and stood in line and got it because I'm going to do it next year. So just FYI, if anybody wants to come with me next year, just let me know. I'm going because I want to do that one time and get in line and get it. Should have been this year because they gave away 2 bottles. But, I really want to get them. I love them. I've loved everyone that I've had so far and super excited to try either one. So like I said, if anybody knows somebody that has it or if you have extra bottles, let me know. What's your
my last one?
Yeah.
It's actually unexpected because I had a horrible experience with something that you own August. But Woodford is coming out with a honey barrel finish, which isn't listed as an experimental or limited release. It looks like this is just going to be the 4th in the lineup. They have the malted, they have the bourbon, they have the double oak, they have the rye. Yeah, 5th in the lineup, which is interesting because I remember. Oh, okay. I don't remember exactly, but let's say 2015-ish when double oak came out. Give me some grace within a year or two. back when it was still in the Woodford bottle.
Mm-hmm.
And like I just didn't understand what like the burnt orange label was or whatever. And then when they switched to the mini peg or whatever you want to call the squat bottles, I was like, oh shit, what's this? And maybe that's why that it comes in a different bottle, because everyone was just like, oh, it's just regular Woodford. It wasn't moving. But for me, it worked. It changed the shape of the bottle. I looked into whatever double oak meant versus I ignored the hell out of the bottle from 2015 on till probably 2019. And it just wasn't on my radar. But the thing I like about Woodford is that they put out a great product and it's consistent and it's stable.
Yep.
So where I had your Nulu honey, it's, I'm not gonna let it spoil me and rot my teeth out. And I'm gonna hopefully pick up a bottle of this Woodford. MSRP was only $60, so it's right in line with the double oaked, 90.4 proof as usual.
Yep.
And I'm looking forward to it. But let us know what you're looking to find this season.
Yeah.
As we carry on into the colder months, for me, colder, my last cold season, if you will. And until then, doesn't matter if you like it neat, on the rocks. Damn, did I fuck it up? On the rocks, neat, or in a Coke? In a Coke, on the rocks?
No, you said it.
Neat Coke rocks.
On the rocks or in a Coke. Whiskey happens.
Cheers.
Don't listen to him.